Hi, my name is Ken Spector with LivingECO, and we're here today at Debbie Durkin's pre-Oscar party with Bernardo Saracino. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Hey, and how are you today, Bernardo?
Great. How you doing?
Hey, great.
Awesome.
Nice to meet you.
Likewise.
So, what brings you to Debbie Durkin's event today?
I got invited, and it was an eco event, and I figured it's probably one of the events I should go to. Yeah, definitely.
Are you an eco kind of guy?
I try to live that way. I have a daughter, and I definitely want to make sure the world is around for her children to enjoy, so I try to live very eco-friendly. Yeah.
So we were talking before, and you mentioned you had grown up on a small farm.
Yeah,
Can you talk about that?
I did. I grew up on a small farm, not necessarily a productive farm. We never made anything, but it was about 3 acres. I was raised by my grandparents, and we had water rights, and so we had a chicken coop my whole life, and my brother and I, our responsibility was to go clean the chicken coop and take the eggs in every single morning, which as a kid, I will not lie, and my grandparents will probably smile in their graves, I hated. Wow. As an adult, it's one of the best things I ever did. Yeah.
So what are some of the eco things you learned living on a farm?
Moving to Los Angeles was officially really strange because I grew up in a small town and growing up on a small farm and being very connected to the earth. And I learned that we are connected to the earth, that it feeds us and we feed it, and we are the same.
Yes.
So I did learn that growing up. And Los Angeles, I think there's a surface level that you don't really know that, and then once you start getting involved in communities, you see farmers markets, you think you're like, there's suddenly these amazing people who are also thinking on the same level as you. So
you go to the farmers markets. In fact, you go to the, are we allowed to say, Culver City Farmers Market? So if anyone wants to meet you, they can probably see you down the Culver City. That's on Tuesdays, right?
It is on Tuesdays,
yes.
And the Culver
I go there myself.
They have amazing fruit, and I buy
samples.
Oh, samples are yes.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Loads of samples at that one.
Fill up on the samples completely, like totally. Yes. And there's a vendor there that sells gala apples. Yes. Which are my favorite type of fruit on earth.
Yeah, those are great.
Yeah, I'm not a citrus fan. Sorry for those of you who are, but just not me. But like, the gala apples at the Culver City Farmers Market are amazing.
really good. Yeah.
Really
so,
good.
As far as farmers markets go, my feeling is that there ought to be a rule where you may not leave the farmer's market with anything or any trash or any packaging that is not compostable.
Oh, I think that should be like your life view. Like I really think like there's really no reason you should leave a footprint on the earth. Like I mean, but also if you go to a farmer's market,
there's no excuse.
There is no excuse. It's actually sad if you do.
Yes.
Like take your own bag and don't leave with anything that you didn't come with, like outside of food, which is what's abundant there.
So there are little things, little tips that I tell people. It's like, what about strawberries? Let's say you were to buy strawberries at the farmer's market. What about the, first of all, there's the box. That is compostable, but it's extra trash. But they always put them in those little plastic containers.
I save my plastic containers.
Okay.
I actually, not only did I grow up in a small, I was raised by my grandparents who grew up in the 30s, who were very frugal. Yes. So as a kid, I think we had the same Cool Whip container for 25 years.
Oh, cool.
So I have no problem saving the same strawberry container that since I first moved to Los Angeles, I still have. Yes. So
what I actually do, I go one step further. I take all, and they think I'm crazy at all farmers markets, but I take the strawberries and I dump all of the strawberries. You should get one of those 3-packs. And I dump all of the strawberries into a black sack. Actually, I have a black sack right there, as you can see. And I dump all the strawberries in. That's my strawberry bag. As though I picked them myself, and I give them the plastic and the paper back so they can reuse that. They look at me like I'm crazy, but the fact is, my rule is, if you are selling those oranges and they're in a bag and it's plastic, I will not buy those oranges.
No. There's another thing I do that I know there are people in my neighborhood who assume I'm crazy. Is because I don't have, we grew up composting everything, but we would just throw it in in a pile someplace. But I still compost and I save things in a bag, and sorry to all my neighbors. But everything is so manicured in Los Angeles. But I will find an apartment complex or something that has a large hedge bush, and I'll take all my strawberry the leaves, my banana pits, every single thing, and I will always, someone will find me dumping something behind their large hedge underneath their window, because I know no one's going to notice it. They're not going to know it's trash, but it isn't trash and it composts. So I don't have a compost bin, but I like to contribute back, so I don't throw it away.
Yes, I mean, vegetable scraps are not trash. They're life. Trash to me, real trash, is that which is toxic for the planet. For me, plastic is toxic for the planet. And really, there's very little plastic should be used on in your daily life.
It's ridiculous how much people use, actually. I think once anyone educates themselves as to the amount of plastic they use and the amount of oil that is used to make that plastic, I don't think they live the same once they've educated themselves in regards to that.
And the end life of plastic is a toxic dust. That's what it eventually turns to. So it's like we've drilled up an old problem from many, many years ago, and we're bringing that old problem back to our present day. Just metaphorically speaking, that's like bringing your third grade teacher yelling at you right now into your life.
Like the bully that beat me up in the third grade every day of my life. I'm not going to call him up and say, let's hang out.
And we're doing that. We have that type of relationship with plastics, unfortunately. And I say put it back where it came from. We don't need that, the plastic bags or the packaging.
How sadistic they're being.
That's
actually.
right. That's right.
Yeah.
So the other thing is, as far as farmers markets go, is just educating people about, let's say, genetically modified organisms and what's going on with pesticide use. There's a whole education at farmers markets and talking to that farmer about how do you grow your produce.
There is a huge amount of people who haven't given farmers market their fair time, because I have met some of the most amazing people in my life at farmers markets. People you would never guess that you had a 20-minute conversation with, who are just awesome, and you communicate with through email and whatnot, and they're just great. And outside of that, just really cool people, and you're buying from your neighborhood.
That's right.
You're not worrying about where did it come from. I'm not eating an orange that was grown in Peru and cost tons of like gasoline and everything to get here. I'm eating something that came from down the street from me.
And probably picked yesterday as opposed to 4 weeks ago.
Exactly.
Sitting on the shelves.
And the chemicals kept it fresh. Like
right.
I think most people should. And if you've got a family, if you've got roommates, whatever, it's a great outing. To me, it's one of my favorite things to do in Los Angeles.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely.
I really feel like I'm part of a community when I go to a farmer's market here.
I'm partial to the Hollywood Farmers Market on
I've never
Sundays.
been to a Hollywood.
Fantastic farmer's market.
Oh, you know what's great? It's a fun place. I want to say Yashimoto's.
Yes, the one with the view.
Yeah, with the view.
The farmer's market with the view up by Yamashiro's.
Yes, Yamashiro's.
That's a really cool farmer's market. I really enjoy that.
Farmers. I have no connections to that place, but every time I've gone there, I've had so much fun, and you got a beautiful view, and they have the best pluots that I have ever tasted.
Yes.
Like there's a vendor there that has pluots that they grow.
Yes.
They're amazing.
It really is amazing.
I became like a pluot junkie there, and it was amazing.
You were in a movie that has gotten really good reviews, really great reviews.
It's actually been compared to Kill a Mockingbird on the Grapes of Wrath as one of the next great American classics.
What is the movie called?
It's called Bless Me Ultima. And it's required reading in a lot of schools around the country. And it's a great book. It's a coming-of-age story. It takes place in the southwest of New Mexico. Well, in New Mexico, in the southwest United States. Is required reading for myself growing up. And it's a beautiful story. It's a coming-of-age story about a young boy and a faith healer who, in my culture, I'm from New Mexico, is called a curandera, and becomes friends with her. And it's a story of their relationship.
Oh, cool. And who's the director?
The director is Carl Franklin. And I think Carl Franklin is quite the amazing human being outside of being a director, and really spoiled me as an actor early on in my career to what a great director should be. And he's definitely an actor's director, and definitely was a great time. I have nothing but huge accolades to claim to Mr. Franklin. Yeah.
Excellent, excellent. And
he directed Devil in a Blue Dress.
Devil in a Blue Dress. Okay, great. Are you involved in any charities?
I'm not outside. No, I'm actually not involved in any charities. Okay. I mean, I'm an uncle and a father, so that pretty much takes up.
That's a lot of charity.
I've got a 10-day-old nephew, Oliver, who is amazing and is just. I never thought after. It sounds horrible. Should I even say this on camera? That prior to him being born, I was like, oh, I'm not going to like this kid as much as I like my nephew and my daughter. The second.
That's a good attitude before the kid is born. I don't think I'm going to like this kid once he's born.
I was like, who is this kid? What if he's horrible? And the second I saw him, I was like, oh, good gosh, he's the most amazing existence that's ever existed outside of the other two. So it's weird how that could even happen.
Amazing.
But yeah, so that takes up my time.
Well, thank you so much, Bernardo. Really appreciate the interview.
Yeah, good.
So I'm Ken Spector with LivingECO, and thank you very much for tuning in. Take care. Have a great day. Bye-bye.